Hey y'all, this is my Married to Medicine review, and I know it's Tuesday or whatever, but I'm sorry, I was in Jamaica. I got back yesterday. I was just really tired. I'm feeling refreshed. I'll try to get this out as soon as possible so I can catch up. Again, I'm probably going to be behind all this week because I'll be in Atlanta, but I will try my best to get this out as soon as possible. But anywho, let's get into this episode. So we open up the episode with Anila and Quad, and apparently they've gotten very close, it seems. So they're meeting up for lunch, and they arrive both wearing tiger print. What are the odds? And a little side note, I just know it's killing Toya that Anila's becoming her own individual and becoming friends with the other ladies, because I know Toya only sees her as like a minion or whatever. I'm glad Anila is like becoming her own, and she don't need a toxic friend like Toya. And then a little salt in the wound is that she's good friends with Heavenly and Quad, two chicks she does not get along with. So they're having a little kiki right now, but I gotta say, Anila, I didn't need to know that your husband was packing downstairs. Didn't really need to know that. Quad then asks Anila, how are the other ladies? And before she answers, we go across town, and now we're with Contessa, Toya, and Simone, and they're all having lunch. Now, it's crazy because Toya and Contessa were at war early in the season, and now they're cool all of a sudden now, just because Contessa went downstairs to check on her, and Anila didn't. And Toya definitely noticed that, and now she's calling Anila a fake friend. And now Toya's talking about how loyalty is so important to her. Well, actually, Anila was a loyal friend to you, but you belittled the girl in front of everyone countless times, and were reminded by production. Toya wanted a minion, like she wanted a Robin to her Giselle. And then there's also the fact that Toya's been telling a lot of people that Anila is broke as well, or having money problems, or problems with saving, which is just comical. The irony is comical. But after all that, Toya just really don't think she did anything wrong. And I'm really glad that production reminded us that she's a terrible friend and a liar. So we get back to Anila and Quad, and they're actually bonding over how bad their relationships are with Toya and just how she treats her friends. And I really feel like Anila has valid claims against Toya. Like, we saw that she's continuously made Anila feel small in front of the other ladies. So we're back with the other group, and Contessa and Simone asks Toya, are you willing to talk to Quad and Anila? And Toya says no. And Contessa and Simone know that Toya's in the wrong, but Toya doesn't see that. But anyway, Simone let the ladies know that she's just gonna have like a couples night, but she's not inviting the other ladies. I think it's just gonna be Toya and Contessa and their husband. So next scene we're with Anila at her house, and I gotta say, her mom is ready for her close-up. She loves the camera. Her mom is a character. She's kind of like the Indian version of Mama Joyce. So Anila's going to put together an event. It's called Holi, and it has to do with her culture. And she's also going to combine that with her daughter's 5th birthday party in order to save money. She's just being real with it. Like, I ain't got it, but I'm going to try to get it. And it's much respect. I mean, unlike Toya, she's trying to live within her means at least. We then see she's inviting all the ladies, but we don't know if she's inviting Toya yet because they're still beefing, and she hasn't even talked to Toya since Quad's event. Next scene, we're with Dr. Jackie, and she's talking to her company manager. It looks like she's going to be starting her own skincare line. And okay for Dr. Jackie getting Bravo to put the little QR code at the bottom as we're watching it. Wow, you better use that platform. Now, something else happened during this, but I'm sure it's not that important. It was kind of like a Best Fiend scene anyway, so we're going to fast forward. So next we're at Simone's couples gathering. So it really does look like she only invited Toya, Contessa, and their husbands. I wonder why she just didn't make it a whole group event. That would have been way more interesting. Now, of course, Contessa and Scott, they thinking like, oh, is this a swingers party? I can totally see that with them, because we know that Contessa dabbles. couples. I mean, we can see that from watching Married to Medicine LA. That's all I gotta say. I think they were swinging couples, actually. Bree and her fine husband, I forgot his name. I mean, I forgot her name. I hope her name is Bree, Dr. Bree. It was Brianna something. I don't know. It's canceled anyway. Simone even says in her confessional that if she had to choose a couple, it would be Contessa and Scott because it seemed like they have experience in it. So they're all sitting down having dinner, and it seems like the conversation and theme of the evening is communication and listening in regards to couples. And really, as expected, I mean, Contessa and her husband are kind of low-key bickering, and Contessa's just telling all her problems within her marriage. And then Toya, she's just talking too much and not letting Eugene say anything. I really do think they should have gotten a professional involved for this. I'm not sure why they're trying to do couples counseling amongst each other because it seems like they all have their own problems. I bet Simone and Cecil are just glad they're not the couple this season that's on the outs or having any problems. So now Contessa is really just putting her personal marriage business out in the open for everyone to hear. She was like, he just told me I don't do shit. What type of husband does this? And then you just have Scott just sitting there, just looking, okay, relax. You're telling me to relax? He don't even say sorry. And at this point, it's just awkward at the table. Like, see a therapist, Contessa. No one there is qualified to listen to your problems and offer valid solutions. See a therapist. Make him go to a therapist. Like, make it a non-negotiable. Whew, this makes me not want to get married, honestly. So after they're going back and forth, they basically just change the topic and give a toast at the table. I'm just looking at her husband, Scott, and he just looks totally over it. I mean, as much as she complains about this man, like, he must be a different person off camera because usually he's chill. Really, that's why I'm just like, why does she keep picking on this man? But he must be a tyrant behind the scenes. So as they're all sitting in the living room area, we just see Contessa and Scott making these empty proclamations to each other, saying they're going to do better and work well. Like, they just went from hollering and bickering to now we're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm not going to make you go to therapy if you don't want to. Okay, we'll see. I don't know. Either this is a fake storyline or they're headed for divorce. So as they're making these empty promises to each other and ending the night on a good note, we see Simone. She just looks so proud of herself that she put this whole event together. I mean, okay, they're basically just putting a Band-Aid over an open wound. So it's the next day and it's Anila's event. Everything looks great, but then we're reminded that she bartered her ass off to make this event happen. A true frugal hustler that Anila is. We also see new besties, Contessa and Toya, driving on their way to Anila's event together. So Anila did invite her after all. We see a little flashback, which I'm not sure why they chose to use this scene as a flashback. They should have just showed it to us. They showed Anila and Toya talking it out in front of Lisa, and they both apologized to each other, and Anila invited her to her event. And they each say they're gonna move forward, but clearly, judging from Toya's confessional, she wasn't genuine at all about it, and she still feels like she just did nothing wrong. I mean, can we all see from watching this season that Toya is the common denominator with all these fights? So next we see Jackie and Heavenly arrive. Now when Carrie told Anila, is that Jackie or Heavenly or those people that work here? I can't tell. Ooh, the shade. Carrie is real shady. I don't think the ladies pick up on that. I mean, they are a bit underdressed for the event. They're very casual, but I'm guessing they knew that color dust was going to be thrown at them, so why bring nice clothes if you know it's going to get fucked up? So after Anila's mom embarrasses her in front of Jackie and Heavenly, we see Lisa Nicole arrives, and then all the ladies begin to do horseback riding. We see Heavenly getting on the horse and riding around, and again, Carrie is being shady. She said she was concerned for the horse. I mean, from my viewpoint, it looked like the horse was just fine, so I'm gonna call shade on that, but I'm guessing Heavenly didn't hear that. But what Heavenly did hear was Lisa saying that the horse's legs were gonna buckle when Heavenly got on. And was Lisa Nicole Cloud really concerned for the horse, or was she being shady, or was it both? I think it was a little bit of both. And unfortunately for Lisa, Heavenly heard her. So we see Heavenly in her confessional saying, well, I'm going to just give it right back to the bitch. So when Lisa gets on the horse, Heavenly immediately shouts that she has a gut. She just outright starts trying to read Lisa for being fat. Now, Heavenly, like, come on now. You can't be throwing stones in glass houses like that. I'm not about to say anything on it, but you throwing stones in glass houses. And then Lisa says, girl, you had your gastric bypass surgery. And as Lisa's defending herself, of course, Heavenly brings up the fact that I'm guessing Lisa can't keep a man, even though she's still with her husband, I believe. That really is Heavenly's go-to, isn't it? Like, not being able to keep a man. I mean, it is all of Heavenly's self-worth. And also, she used to always say, your mama, because she didn't have anything else clever to say. And after Heavenly says that, they're both attacking each other's marriages right now. Lisa's calling Heavenly's marriage like a fake or a sham. And then Lisa says, well, you want to be me. And then Heavenly says, why do I want to be you when you can't keep a damn man? She says this so loud the whole party heard it. To which Anila's yelling, not at my party! This is my daughter's 5th birthday party, not here! I'm like, wow. At this point, I'm wondering, is Quad not there yet? Where are the other ladies? And just as I was thinking that, Quad just shows up right when the argument stops. But yeah, once that happened, Anila really cut that shit short. They stopped arguing, they put a pin in it, and the party continued. So then Toya and Contessa finally arrive, and they are 2 hours late. Like, we already saw that Anila was bartering, okay, well, instead of 8 hours, let's do 4 hours. So they already missed half the party. And being that they just started being cordial with one another, it would have been great for Toya if she would have just got there on time and showing actions that she really wants to move forward. And Anila goes up to her and says, why are you guys 2 hours late? And then Toya just like, can you just say hello? Ooh, Toya is an asshole and a terrible friend. So then a little time goes by and now like the color throwing battle begins. It looks really fun. Everyone's just running around, it's chaos. Everyone's looking a mess except for Quad. Like, she is clean, still white. And it's because she's been running and fast. Like, wow, she is running really fast. Like, she's in the NFL or something. Like, they eventually catch up with her and, like, fuck her up with the color, but damn. She ain't got to worry about the killer trying to get her. Like, jeez. So afterwards, Anila gets all ladies in a circle and she's discussing holi and all the kumbaya bullshit and just saying the color represents throwing away the negativity and moving forward. To which she then puts Quad and Toya on the spot for leaving their beef behind. They're both just looking at her like, now, Anila, you were doing great this whole episode, but why did you get in between these women's business? Like, did you not learn from Contessa and Toya? Stay out of it. Stay out of it. And then she's still beefing with Toya, kind of. So why is she trying to make Quad and Toya make up right now? So yeah, they are both like, girl, mind your business. They are definitely not here for it and not willing to talk to each other. So then they go around the circle and say what they're all leaving behind. And then we get to Toya and she's like, fake bitches. And then Quad immediately says, we're gonna have to leave yourself behind, bitch. And then they kind of go at it, but then weirdly, they just all move on from it and drop the conversation and just continue having fun at the color party. Like nothing happened. And that is where the episode ends. I mean, this was a decent episode. Like, I was getting nervous, but yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Pretty decent. Now, next week definitely looks good. First, we see Heavenly talking to her son saying, what type of women you like? And I mean, we all know. And I hope they have to deal with that because we all know Heavenly will definitely have a problem with that. But we'll see for that next episode. But also at the end, we see Jackie getting into it with Toya. And I'm just gotta say, like, again, the common denominator is Toya. She's an asshole. And she seems like she's the villain of this season. But yeah, I will try to have the Real Housewives of New York episode up before I go to Atlanta. Of course, you're gonna have Pop Roast, but I might do Beverly Hills, 2 episodes back to back next week. Ooh, and I gotta do Jersey too. I'ma figure it out, y'all. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next video. Bye.